question in my little basket, and they hopefully will know the answer. If they don't, we're all in trouble. All right. First question, Lindsay. Why was the Juliet Lowe Fellowship Fund established?
Because Juliet Lowe died and they wanted to honor her.
And then give it to Andrew.
Girls, speak up to your line now. Because we have to learn this.
Angela, what happens to the money collected for Thinking Day?
It goes to the World Fellowship Fund and to help send girls to America and from America.
What kind of girl? Anybody?
Girl guides and girl scouts.
All right. Catherine, what does WAGGGS mean? W-A-G-G-S.
World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts.
Okay. Where am I? Nikki, who was Lord Baden-Powell?
Founder of Boy Scouts.
Okay. Melissa, where are the world centers located?
India, Mexico, England, and Switzerland.
Okay. Margaret, why was Juliet Lowe deaf?
Because when she was little, she had a bad fever, and that left her deaf in one ear. And when she got married, Bryce was third in her ear, and that left her deaf in the other ear.
We like to pick up on all facts. Why was Thinking Day on February 22nd?
Because that's the birthday of both Lord and Lady Baden-Powell.
Okay. Kathleen, what was Lady Baden-Powell's first name?
Elaine.
Okay. We're losing our grip. Lexi, why is the kindergarten troop named Daisy?
Because Juliet Lowe's nickname was Daisy.
Right. One last question and we will have it all done. That's fun. It's a hard one. Rachel, when was Juliet Lowe born?
October 30th. And 31st. 1860.
Thank you very much. I'm sure all of you knew the questions to that. But we had a lot of fun reading about Juliet Lowe and thinking about her. Now we would like you to sing along with us. Girl Scouts together.
Girl Scouts together, happy are we. Friendly to neighbors, far over the sea. Faithful to country, loyal to home. Known as to Girl Scouts wherever we roam.
We ask you to join us for the second time. You ready? You.
Girl Scouts together, that is our song. Winding the old trails, rocky and long. Learning our motto, living our creed. Girl Scouts together in every good deed. Girl Scouts together, happy
Okay, now we're going to read the Juliet Lowe World Friendship Fund story. And since we need a little bit of room, I think maybe if you girls went down there, it would be better. We didn't explain everything about our posters. The first, this is about all the thinking days that we had, say, some of the memories. This was the brownie troop when the senior scouts gave all the brownies the story of Juliet Lowe in a comic book. That was 1983. In 1984, we did a play called Finn McCool, and we chose that play because it was about another country and a legend. So we're supposed to be thinking about another culture. And last year, we did a magazine, and this was our magazine that we presented at the end of the year, where we did the interviews around thinking days. That's what it meant.
We certainly will enjoy that and treasure it very, very greatly.
Okay, now, the way this Juliet Lowe story works is, every time we say world, we won't expect you to do this. It's a little lie. Every time the word world is said, they spin around. Every time Juliet Lowe's name is mentioned, we clap twice. And every time we have scouting, we smile and give a sign. Okay, are we ready? Once upon a time, there was a lady whose name was Juliet Lowe. She became interested in scouting through her friends Lord and Lady Baden Powell when she visited them in England. They started Boy Scouting and Girl Scouting. Juliet Lowe thought scouting was a wonderful idea. When she returned to America, she decided to start a scout troop. So on March 12, 1912, in her hometown, Savannah, Georgia, Juliet Lowe started the first Girl Scout troop in this part of the world. After that, she traveled all over our country, helping to start more Girl Scout troops. Juliet Lowe believed scouting was a fine thing, such a fine thing that she wanted to see a scout troop all over the world. She knew that scouting would help girls to become friends and would help toward world peace and goodwill. After Juliet Lowe died in 1927, her friends decided that the greatest tribute that could be paid to such a charming lady would be to continue working toward world friendship. The Juliet Lowe World Friendship Fund was started. Each year, Scouts in the U.S. are giving money which helps Scouts all over the world.
Ms. Ames, will you come out and make our box and pass it? Ms. Ames is our treasurer. Yeah, the girls get their own. Bring the box to us. We're taking their own. Bring the box to us. Girls, while we're waiting, while we're taking our gifts for the World Association, we have here for you a large World Association symbol. It's done on white paper because we thought you might like to color it in. And so it decided, would you pass these and give one to each of the girls and to Mrs. Powell? Girls, we thought that the thing that would be most meaningful to you, and we'd like for you to have, is, Bonnie, we'd like for you to have your book, which is your guide as a junior Girl Scout, Worlds to Explore. And Jennifer, as a senior, you would be a senior were you in a troop, you make the difference. You will find wonderful reading material in these and lots of things that you want to do. And we just hope you will enjoy them, and always remember that the senior scouts at Westminster Canterbury really do count you a part of our group. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, we could not miss our younger girls here who have given us such a lovely, lovely Thinking Day celebration. We sold some calendars, just like you did, and we didn't have to turn all the money in, just like you did. But we saved some in our treasurer, and our treasurer, I think, has an envelope with maybe some in there for your treasure. Ms. Ames, would you like to present that to Ms. Kyle, or is she the treasurer? Patty is the treasurer? Patty? Okay, I'm sorry.
The girls, this year we're working on our patch again, and we're studying Japan. They made origami cranes, which is a symbol of good luck, and they've made one for each of the members of your troop to wish you good luck for this year. Margaret and Ivy will pass out the cranes to the other troop members. They happen to be younger. And they will pass them out. Thank you very much for everything. You make it fun.
You make it fun for us. I think we get along beautifully, don't you, folks?
Girls, you get up.
Thank you. They'll actually walk their wings, walk their wings. Thank you so much. This was a real nice surprise, wasn't it? That's the trouble with this troop. They're always putting surprises on people. Always nice ones. Yes. We really have some very distinguished guests with us tonight. And first of all, I'd like to introduce Betty Renard, who needs no introduction whatsoever. She has been our counselor at large ever since we began 9 years ago. And she's been so faithful and supportive in all that we have tried to do and helpful to making what we did meaningful to girls and getting the two of us together. It's been great. So Betty, would you stand up, and then I want you to introduce these people who have come in, and also your son. Come up, and you girls come up, because we would like everybody to meet you. Come on up the front, Betty. Don't be shy. The girls weren't. You're just big girls.
These are two of our staff members. We're very proud of people like this because they're doing things to keep things working. Jackie is the Chickahominy Association. This is the association that you all are in. And Sherry was a Brownie leader in the park, and now she's a staff member, and she works over in the south of the river, the Huguenot and Riverside Association. And the young man with the camera is my youngest son, David. And you're all on TV tape tonight.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate it. We're honored to have you with us, and we appreciate all the help that the council gives us. We also have one other staff member of the council who's doesn't need introduction, but Karen, I want you to stand up. Karen is the mother of the 2 Lone Scouts, and she is our go-between. She brings things to us, takes things back to the council, and just does all the things that us old girls can't do. And Karen, we do thank you so much.
And when you go to the council office and you walk in the front door, her smiling face is the first thing you see.
And I have heard people say, when I go in there and I see the young lady who is the receptionist, I get a good feeling about scouting. And you know, as girls, you can give folks a good feeling about scouting. When I was a little girl, they always told us, remember when you wear your uniform, you're not just you are Girl Scouts all over the country. And people judge them by you in your uniform. You remember that. Is there anyone else now who needs recognizing? Yes, Marty? Oh, I beg your pardon.
No, you weren't aware of it.
No, I was not.
Marilyn's gonna go upstairs.
Well, come right around here and let us give you a good hand.
Marilyn Doss.
Marilyn Doss.
A godparent services.
Oh, now recognize them without her glasses.
By
Yes,
finding circumstance, she's a Girl Scout, and we got student coming tonight.
do you know that makes how many? 41. Isn't that great? I tell you, it's these scouts that scavenger around and get people. And not only that, she gives us some good food. She can work on that too, she said. Okay. Thank you, Marty. I was not aware that she was. I thought maybe it was a mother that helped bring the girls in. Now with her glasses off, I can see who you are. She comes through the dining room every once in a while to see if we're eating everything on our plate line. Lady Baden Powell, whom we have spoken of tonight, and it's her birthday was the 22nd, as was her husband's. She was greatly loved all of her life and lived up into her 80s. She was spoken of all over the world where we had Girl Guiding and Girl Scouting and our troop. One of the members, who was a Brownie, I believe that's right, is that right, Maureen? When she lived in England. And Maureen is very kindly going to read to us tonight this last message, which was written a number of years ago, but it holds true just the same now for Girl Scouts and Girl Guides all over the world. Would you come up now and read this?
I shall have left this world when you receive this message, which I leave to express my thanks for all the kindnesses and the affection shown to me, and to say how greatly I have enjoyed in the way in which you have all carried out your share in the work of the movement as my beloved cousin invented for the advancement of boys and girls in all countries years ago. I have firm belief in Almighty God and in the life in the world to come, when He and I will be reunited, and together we shall watch over you, who have been enrolled as members of this world family, and go on sharing for your progress and well-being. I trust that you will continue fully to use the system of work and play that our movement provides, keeping up the fun and the friendships made at your meetings and in camps, abiding by the promise and upholding the law that you undertook to live by when you joined us. In that way, you will not only advance yourself in body, mind, and spirit, but you will affect those around you in doing what is honorable and right and wise, and in giving out kindness of thought and action, thus striving against all ills and helping to make the world a better place in which to live. I trust you will be successful in all your tasks, and may God be with you in all in the coming years.
Thank you so much to spend their evening with us. We want to thank Diane Reynolds for her assistance in arranging the room and getting the speakers and so forth. Mrs. Renard and David, we especially thank you. You've had us all scared to death all evening because you look so professional. But we're delighted, and let's see, who else needs thanking? Oh, one of our new members who cannot come is Joan Mills, who is a secretary in one of the offices. She has done all of the Xeroxing for us. And she said today, when she did the last little piece, she said, I do hope that you have a very happy meeting. And I can tell Joanne tomorrow we had a very lovely time, right? Is there anything else that you would like to say? You know, for our closing circle, I can't think of anything nicer than to make a real circle. That was one reason we left space back there and we have space up here. And I wish that the girls could mix around and get into the circle among the older scouts. Would you like to do that, girls? One between every two ladies. How about that? I mean, this is our good night circle. And happy good night to everybody. And girls, we want you to come back again whenever you can and will. Days dawn from the sun, from the lakes, from the hills, from the sky, all is well, safely rest, God is down. Good night. Two outside troops, junior troop 258, and cadet troop 467. So that makes 3 Girl Scout troops together tonight. The setting for the evening happens to be a summer camp that we're all attending. We had a stormy day all day long, so we're having our campfire activities in the recreation hall. But we don't mind. Let's read together that poem about weather that you find on the top of your song sheet. And this is one that you'll have fun with yourselves if you can say it real fast. It is quite a tongue twister. Are we ready? Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, whether the weather be dry or whether the weather be not, we'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. We have some other guests too, and we'll introduce them a few at a time as they perform for us. We have with us one new girl from Westminster Canterbury, and I'm going to ask her to stand. That's Lucille Wood in the back row there. Lucille is going to join us and be one of us. She'll be formally pinned next fall after registration. Beverly Spain is not new to us at all. She's been with us many times with her troops, and she just still comes even if she doesn't have a troop. And we're so glad, so we want her to lead us in a song tonight. And
I didn't hear him sing. I said, it's me. I can't hear you at all. We can't hear you. You're very
all right,
oh.
just bring it back.
Okay. Kelly was telling me that I told her I couldn't sing, and I said, well, we're going to be singing this hello song, and I told her she needs help. And she said, well, one of the requirements for being a Girl Scout was not knowing how to sing. You didn't have to know how to sing to be a Girl Scout. I said, well, that suits me, because I sure can't carry a tune. Okay, the song is Hello, 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 Hello. How many of you know it? How many Scouts know it? Oh, wonderful. Oh, good. So we'll sing it through one time, and then we'll divide up into 4. Okay, you ready? All right. Hello, hello.
hello, hello, hello. We're glad to meet you. We are glad to greet you. Hello, 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 hello.
You got that? That's easy. Alright, now we gotta divide into fours. Great. Let's see. That looks like a good number right here. From here over section 1, here over section 2, the little girl in the yellow over to the lady, yeah, right there, section 3, and the last section 4. Hello, and then this one says hello. I can't sing. Hello, hello, hello. We're glad to meet you. We are glad to greet you. Hello, 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 hello. Beautiful. Great.
Been coming since she was a little girl. That's Janet Renard. And she's busying herself, and when she saw I was going to speak about her, she immediately sat down out of sight. Janet is leading our video projections tonight and taking a videotape. So, how about Junior Troop 258 leading us? On the top of the second page.
Happy are we, friendly to neighbors, far o'er the sea, faithful to country, loyal to home, known as true Girl Scouts wherever we roam.
And you pass this from one to the other. Okay. Thanks,
Herr Beethoven, I'm leaving. I've had to go to here with all the piano playing. I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving.
But my butler, you cannot leave. You're my inspiration.
Inspiration! Ha! Ha 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 ha! Good morning, sir. May I help you? Yes, I'd like a puppy for my daughter. How much are they? $10 a piece, sir. Well, I really wouldn't like them in pieces. I'd like them whole. First be drawn. I'd like a beer and a plaid person. You mean a beer and scotch, sir? No, I mean a beer and a plaid person. Have it your way. One question can never be answered yes. Well, I really don't know that. Are you asleep?
There, she's tight. Tight apart. You have to come in front of the stage. Come down here, off the stage, off the stage. You get behind me. Okay.
One day, 3 friends decided to take a walk through the desert. One was carrying a loaf of bread, one was carrying a jug of water, and the other was carrying a car door. As they were walking, they met a man, and he said, "Why are you carrying a loaf of bread?"
So
if I get hungry, I can nibble on it.
Why are you carrying a jug of water?
In case I get thirsty, I can drink some.
Why on earth, may I ask, what you are carrying a car door?
So if I get hot, I can roll down the
Hello, sir. What have you done to get into heaven?
Well, I haven't done much with my life. I'm an old carpenter. I'm a very simple man. And I live in a very, very small hut.
Well, haven't you done anything?
Well, I have a very famous son.
Father!
Girls up on a tender stalk, lilies of the valley, yes, they're going down low. Oh, don't you wish that you could hear them ring? That will happen only when the fairies sing. That will happen only when the fairies sing. Very good. Thank you.
And thank you again, Troop 258, for all that you've contributed tonight. Now, well,
The time yet? Is it time yet? Is it time yet? Is it time yet? Is it time yet?
No, it's not time yet.
No, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. No, it's not time yet. Is it time yet? Is it time yet? Is it time yet? Is it time yet?
Yes, it's time.
Page 3. We're going to sing the second to the last song for our children, okay? And, how many people know it? My window looking in the night, I can see the barges flickering light. Suddenly flow the rivers to the sea, and the barges do go silently. Barges, I would like to go with you. I would like to sail the ocean blue. Barges, heavy treasures in your hold. Do you fight with pirates brave and bold? Out of my window, looking in the night, I can see the barges flickering light. Summer is spring and port is glowing red. I can see the barges far ahead. Barges, I would like to go with you. I would like to sail the ocean blue. Barges, heavy treasures in your hold. Do you fight with pirates brave and bold? Okay, y'all don't have to sing this one unless you know it, because it's slightly hard to sing. We're gonna sing, Do Your Ears Hang Low. And this one right here, Angelina, she's the only one that knows the motions for this. We're only gonna sing the first verse. We're only gonna sing the first verse. Okay. Do Here's Hangler, do they walk through a grove? Can you tie him in a knot? Can you tie him in a bow? Can you wear him on your shoulder like a continental shoulder? Do you hear Hangler?
I gotta make a motion.
You know how to. Oh, yeah. Do your ears stand high? Do they point up to the sky? Do they curl when they're wet? Do they straighten when they're dry? Can you signal your neighbor when the men have labor? Do your ears stand high? Do your ears flip-flop? Can you use them for a mop? Are they stringy on the top? Are they curly on the top? Can you use them for a blotter? Can you use them for a slaughter? Do your ears flip-flop? Okay, we're not gonna, are we gonna what? Okay, wait. We're all gonna sing the, we're doing Tell Me Why. And we're gonna do, everybody's gonna do the words that are in here, and then we're gonna do another version that we know. Okay? Tell me why the stars do shine. Tell me why the ivy twines. Tell me why the ocean's blue. And I will tell you why I love you. Because the stars do shine. Because God made the ivy twine. Tell me why the bugs do fight. Tell me why the fire won't light. Tell me why the tents fall down. And I'll tell you why I sleep on the ground. Because they're hungry, the bugs do bite. Because the wood's wet, the fire won't light. Because you're lazy, the tents fall down. Because Girl Scout, I sleep on the ground.
Lo is Patrick. Manuel is Spanish, and Patrick is Irish, of course. The little heroine, the love of all, is Maggie. Maggie O'Brien. Now, of course, all castles have to have a maid, so we have Sing-a-Roma. Then there are about 12 other very strong supporting characters whom I shall not mention by name, but you will meet very presently. Now, we are having dress rehearsal tonight, so I put you on alert. So will all of the characters, the lesser and the greater, go and find your place on the side. All right? I've done mine. Can we have it quiet, please? Our play is ready to begin. The curtains are separating. Watch it go. I want to stay in the wings. It was early morning in the castle and outside of the castle, and the sun rose. Now, living inside this castle was the nobleman's son, Manuel. This was a very beautiful castle on the top of a mountain, overlooking all of Spain. You're now going to get a peek at the library, where Manuel is very busy working on some of his papers. His full name is Manuel de Popolo. He's working very, very hard over his notes. In fact, he's poring over them. And finally, he just gets exasperated and puts them into order. Finally, he arose, muttering curses. "Hither, Cinderella!" he cried. "Come, Cinderella!" She came tearing down the stairs. "Did you call, sir?" she asked. "Yes. Where is Maggie?" "Maggie O'Brien is the one I want to see." "But she's in her chamber." "Then you bring her here at once," he commanded. And Cinderella flew to do her master's bidding. While waiting for Maggie, Manuel crossed the floor. Once, twice, 3 times. And then he sat down and stamped his feet.
You didn't give me all the stamps.
And then, in exasperation, he looks downward, casts his eyes to the floor. Finally, Maggie came sweeping into the room. "Maggie, for the last time, will you marry me?" "Oh, no, no, no." "Oh, curses. Then I shall lock you up in the tower until you will marry me." "Oh, sir, I appeal to you." "Your appeal is fruitless." she knew that Manuel was going to do what he said he was going to do because he always kept his word. Oh, if Patrick would only come, my true love, my true love. If he would only come, he would save me. Will he come? Will he come?
Patrick?
A soft whistle from below told her that it must be he. So they threw him a line. Come on in, come on in, come on in. That's it, climb right on up the wall. At that moment, Manuel entered, maddened at the sight of the two lovers together, and challenged Patrick to a duel. They assaulted each other. After a few moments, however, Manuel hands Patrick the acknowledgement that he has won. He was defeated, poor Manuel. And you did. You gave up the match.
Oh, you did?
The hours passed. Very slowly. And very slowly, wait. They passed so slowly. And Patrick drags his lover out. The sun sets. The shadows of the night come on. And after the shadows comes the darkness, very, very dark. The curtains close. Sometimes they get stuck on the runners. Our play is concluded. All right, girls, now smile. This only happens once in a lifetime.
Squish a little bit closer together.
Squeeze because all right, as soon as these characters, I've asked Margaret Indo and Armand Wilkinson to lead us in this state song, and it's a song that you girls can use in camp when you're camping. I thought maybe you might be interested in using it on your way down to Savannah.
It's just neat to hear it. We're going to sing the first part of number 1. You sing. Oh, what did I know, girls? What did I know? Oh, what did I know, girls? Oh, what did I know? Oh, what did I know, girls? Oh, what did I know? I ask you again as a personal friend, what did I know? And the response is, she knows her Maryland, girl, she knows her Maryland. She knows her Maryland, girl, she knows her Maryland. She knows her Maryland, girl, she knows her Maryland. I tell you again, as a personal friend, she knows her Maryland. So,
All right, now, come on, let's sing it.
we will start. We'll ask the question, and then do the response. Nice and loud. And just tell me first. Well, we're going to do 2, 4, and 7. Okay? Ready? Wow. Oh, what did Delaware, girls? Oh, what did Delaware? Oh, what did Delaware, girls? Oh, what did Delaware? Oh, what did Delaware, girls? Oh, what did Delaware? I ask you again, a personal friend. Oh, what did Delaware, New Jersey? She wore her New Jersey, girl, she wore her New Jersey. She wore her New Jersey, girl, she wore her New Jersey. I tell you again, as a personal friend, she wore her New Jersey. Oh, where has Oregon, girls, oh, where has Oregon? Oh, where has Oregon, girls, oh, where has Oregon? Oh, where has Oregon, girls, oh, where has Oregon? I tell you again, as a personal friend, oh, where has Oregon? She's gone to Oklahoma, girl, she's gone to Oklahoma. She's gone to Oklahoma, girl, she's gone to Oklahoma. She's gone to Oklahoma, girl, she's gone to Oklahoma. I tell you again, it's a personal friend, she's gone to Oklahoma. Oh, what's in Mississippi, girls, oh, what's in Mississippi? Oh, what's in Mississippi, girls, oh, what's in Mississippi? Oh, what's in Mississippi, girls, oh, what's in Mississippi? I ask you again, as a personal friend, oh, what's in Mississippi? She dipped her Minnesota, she dipped her Minnesota. She dipped her Minnesota, she dipped her Minnesota. She dipped her Minnesota, she dipped her Minnesota. I tell you again, it's a personal friend, she dipped her Minnesota.
Well, the first thing just before we do the last thing, 258 has something to say. And I believe this is Kylie and Margaret, right? These girls have grown up right here at Westminster Canterbury.
This is part 1 of the the 3-year Diamond Jubilee Patch Program. This patch involves international education celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Girl Guides Association. We, Troop 258, with gratitude and appreciation, like to present you the senior troop of Westminster Canterbury with this patch.
Isn't that beautiful?
We would also like to present you with these napkins for lunches and all, when you want to do it.
Girl Scout anchor.
So the next time we have the party, we can really put on the dog. Girl Scout. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, does anyone else have anything to say? Or do?
If 215 was the 50-10 song, well, then we did it.
You can do one. Yeah.
By myself?
No. And you need to see a cake there. Just one.
That's Maggie.
Abraham had 7 sons, and the 7 sons had Father Abraham. He never laughed, he never cried, all they did was go like this. Father Abraham had 7 sons, and 7 sons had Father Abraham. They never laughed, they never cried, all they did was go like this. Father Abraham had 7 sons, and 7 sons had Father Abraham. They never laughed, they never cried, all they did was go like this. Father Abraham had 7 sons, the 7 sons had Father Abraham. They never laughed, they never cried, all they did was go like this. Father Abraham had 7 sons, the 7 sons had Father Abraham. They never laughed, they never cried, all they did was go like this.
Thank you.
7 sons had Father Abraham. They never laughed, they never cried, all they did was go like this. Father
Thank you.
Karen is one of our employees here in the Recreation and Leisure Department and does a great work with people. She'll be careful. Karen is one of
I went all the way up through 12th grade. That was all through Browning, juniors, cadets, and seniors.
10 years. What rank?
First class.
That was when we had first class at the top.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went a long way, and it was fun.
And she's come back to help us.
Karen made our signs from clay.
Anything else? This has been a glorious evening, hasn't it? The purpose was fun, and we've had fun. And plenty of it. But I think I hear the bugle out on the hillside. And that bugle is playing taps. Let's stand and cross our arms and join. Lay it down on the sun, on the lake, on the hill, on the sky, all is well, safely rest. God is mine. Good night.
Don't waste your film on her.
Thank you, ladies. How old are you, Janet?
You got another one. I got in here. I am an internet man.
No, you ain't getting camera. You are. Always wanted to be.
You are. Ha
Oh, she's just.
Here you go.
Turn. You always wanted to be.
So you can do that. You're from Durban. You know, right away. I'm sorry, I didn't get it. I thought it was my mom, dad, and
Oh, I'm fine.
No, you can make rolls when you do it. It's the fault of
I say that because we had
up here. Lovely, isn't it? Huh? It's like the American flag.
And then when it comes there, we're not like South Africa. I hope you've all had a chance to say hello, and if you haven't, you will between now and the time that we finish here. But they have graciously consented to lead us in grace, and I think you're inviting anybody who'd like to sing along to sing along. If you notice that sort of turn things over to them.
Hallelujah, 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 praise the Lord. We can do anything, we like to work, we like to sing. On our face we have a smile, and I see smile, cause that's our style. Our motto is keep your bed, that is what our BP says. BP says, right in my head, right in my head, right in my head, I've got the BP stirred. Right in my head to say, I've got the BP stirred. Deep in my heart, deep in my heart, deep in my heart, I've got the BP stirred. Deep in my heart to say, I've got the BP stirred. Around my feet, around my feet, around my feet, I've got the BP stirred. Around my feet to say, I've got the BP stirred. Around my feet, I've got the BP stirred. All over me, all over me.
The oldest one is Maya looking there. Actually, it was the fridge in the area. Newbury was in yes, that's right, yes. Won't you have some right? We're not going to get it. Just like that. I'm not in any way yet.
Oh no, not a bit.
Her husband had video, and we had more fun with showing that little tape to friends that, you know, being able to tell them instead of just looking at pictures. It really makes it nice. During the holidays,
How are you? Well, you're having a wonderful time.
Oh, yeah. I was asked to do this, a professional.
Excuse me. Let me get out of the way of the photographer.
I'm sorry.
Now, which one is she? Where we got these two real scouts. They cute. Gorgeous shot.
Yeah, we got that.
It's really a good skill. She's always. No, I believe not. I know, when I take off, we have to
Now ask me again.
Oh, well, we will. You can have a refill.
Right, I'll be back.
Oh, yeah. How's that pizza going for us? All been greatly fed, and wasn't it pretty? And we need to thank Marilyn. Can you thank her real quick before she gets away? That was a lot of work, and she did a great deal of it herself. We're just so delighted to have everybody here tonight, and especially the one to my left. This is what we've been waiting for days now. So excited that this honor that's come to us has now become a realization, and she's here in the flesh. The daughter of, please tell us how to pronounce your parents' names.
Baden Powell.
We have heard it every which way. We must do it correct. She is the daughter of Robert Baden Powell and Lady Olaf Baden Powell. You get it right? I messed it up. Everybody could.
We recognize it anyway.
Very good. Doesn't she make you feel good? Betty Renard almost belongs to this troop, and we feel real selfish, but we do hang on to her. And I've asked Betty if she will introduce to us tonight our speaker and our friend, our Girl Guide and Girl Scout. Betty?
And she is the daughter of Lord and Lady Baden Powell, and has been in Girl Guiding for a long time, and also has been to this country a couple of times now. And she has had really quite a hectic schedule since she got here, but she's been looking forward to meeting with you all, and she would like to tell you some things, but she also would like to hear from you about your activities. Okay?
Thank you, Betty. And sort of get us warmed up on Girl Guiding, because she's full of interests and concerns, and I know she'd like to share those with us.
You'll let me talk for a little while, because I hope you will then interrupt me and say, yes, I remember that, because that's what I want to hear from you. Because there's only one of me, and you know all about me already, because you read it in books, or you've heard it, or you've seen it going on with my parents. So you know all about that already. You know all about it. On Thursday morning, when the Postmaster General announced the launching of the Girl Scout stamp. Have you seen it? No. Yes, one or two have seen it. One or two have seen it. Well, it's a 22-cent stamp. There it is. She's got one. A first day cover. And he came, they had at the big, enormous building of the, I suppose it's the General Post Office or something, in what, ferns and palms and flowers like you've got there, and microphones all over the place, and like 3 different video people videoing busily, televisioning busily, and they had the Marine Band of about 12 people, most beautifully dressed with wonderful instruments. They had a choir from Richmond, Virginia. Did you know that? You did. Some of you knew, some of you didn't know. This marvelous choir of about 20 girls came all the way from Richmond to Washington, stayed 2 nights in hotels in order to sing on the stage with the brilliant lights on them, singing these lovely songs, the Girl Scout songs and patriotic songs and jolly songs for our entertainment. And then various very important dignitaries made some marvelous speeches, including your own national president of the Girl Scouts of the USA, and they presented albums of these beautiful new 22-cent stamps. It shows a lot of different interest badges. That's what the stamp contains. And so there was this beautifully done ceremony, and the excitement of those girls seeing it all going on. I suppose there were 500 or 600 Girl Scouts there, girls, children, and after it they were all getting up and going and sitting in front of the TV camera so they could be photographed and having interviews. There was a long interview with several girls asking, the interview man was asking them what they did in Girl Scouting and so on, and then they were all exchanging autographs and patches and little badges and pins and really enjoying themselves enormously. Then in the afternoon, we had this wonderful, spectacular thing at the John F. Kennedy Center in the great, huge auditorium there. And there were more than 2,500 children there. I know, because I counted them. I did. I counted. I was sitting in one of these lovely tiered boxes up above, high up above, could have a wonderful view of the whole thing. And so I counted the seats, like that. And I counted the rows, like that. And I couldn't quite see underneath how many rows there were beneath my box, but I reckoned there were about 5 rows. So I did a little bit of cheating and a great deal of very difficult calculation, and reckoned there were about 2,500 there. Quite a lot of children. It was a wonderful show. Again, a huge military band on stage, brilliant lights, the same choir again, and 2 chairs only. Rather bare-looking chairs. You know, those very functional, pink plastic chairs, right in the middle of the stage. No frills, no flowers round them. And I thought, poor Mrs. Reagan, poor Mrs. Reagan. She's going to have her legs like that. Nothing to cover up her knees. However, your First Lady, being very practiced in the art of how to sit, and very, very gracious and very dignified, she was led onto the stage by 2 brownies. Oh. It was perfectly enchanting. And there was another thing that was very enchanting. I expected there to be quite a sort of rowdy noise. But no. There was a sort of excited, I can only describe it as a squeal, because it wasn't a scream like they do for the pop stars. And it wasn't a cheer. It was just a very dignified, very respectful, restrained squeal went up from 2,500 throats when the First Lady walked up on stage. She must have been delighted with it. And she stood up and she made a lovely speech to us. She, extolled what Girl Scouting is doing for the young people of this country. And then, because it is, as you know at the moment, her theme, she developed the theme of how splendid it is that the Girl Scouts have taken on the idea of trying to help other young people to avoid the miseries of drug abuse. And she just brought out this theme quite briefly, not too long, and made this excellent, most telling little speech to this vast crowd of young people. And then she led that crowd in the Pledge of Allegiance. And I found that most moving. I may say that I have never heard the Pledge of Allegiance being done before. You may think that odd, but I haven't visited America for very many years, so although I may have seen pictures of it, I have never seen it done. And I can tell you that for somebody who lives abroad, it is a very moving experience. Your First Lady led that. She then led the whole concourse in repeating the Girl Scout promise. And then a small group of 10 young girls marched up onto the stage and stood beside her. They were of all sections, a brownie, a daisy, a brownie, a senior, a cadet, and a leader, and something else, because there were the 10 of them, I don't know what else. Anyway, from all sections they came. And each one in turn read out one of the Girl Scout laws. And that too, to me, was a very fine experience, that these girls were prepared to stand up on stage, on a brilliantly lit stage, in front of all those people, and say clearly and confidently a Girl Scout law. I thought it was beautifully done. And then Mrs. Reagan was led off by her brownies, and we all saw her off in suitable fashion. And then your president, your national president, ended us off with the singing of taps. So it was, I can tell you, it was a most lovely, lovely, exciting experience, and everybody went away feeling absolutely so thrilled with everything. It was a lovely affair. So I have seen wonderful Girl Scouting. And I'm sure that every one of you also has a similar experience, because your country does do these things well. And in the life of a Girl Scout, there should be at least one great occasion like this. That's why we have to have these decades and make a fuss of them, because in each 5-year period or 10-year period, those children have gone right through, and it is essential they should experience the highlight of the decade when they're at their best to receive it. Now, if you want to hear about anything about my parents, please will ask, and otherwise, I wonder if I might have the privilege of hearing from one or two of you. Perhaps you've met my mother, and tell us what it was like, and whether you remember it, and if there was any, particularly funny or memorable moment that has stuck in your memory. Will some of you be willing to tell us that? Because I think that would be most interesting to all of us, and it would certainly be to me.
Before, better. I knew how to shake hands in the Girl Scout Girl Guide manner, and I went up to Lady Baden-Powell and I stuck out my right hand just like that in public, and I could have sunk through the floor. But of course she put her right hand out very properly and made me feel at ease, and it was a glorious moment for me, because international scouting has always been my specialty, and I've had many pen pals and letters from Lady Baden-Powell, which I treasured and left with one of my councils when I moved away. And she was lots of fun to know, just as easy to know as her daughter, and so pretty and such fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Because it is the left-hand shape of the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts has very much faded out of disuse into disuse in many countries, and so it isn't always that people remember that that was our one of our secret signs, and so my mother recognized the fact that it wasn't all that well known, and she would have, out of her natural courtesy, she was so thoughtful for other people's feelings, wasn't she, that she would quickly change when she saw she might embarrass you. Anybody else got any memories of Mother or anything else they would like to share with us? Yes, please, was here.
She was here and she spoke at St. John's Church. And since the church is quite small, only 2 girls from each troop could go. And I happened to be a Brownie Scout leader at the time. And it ended up that my daughter and her best friend went, and I was very uncomfortable with it since I was the scout leader. You don't want to, your daughter shouldn't be the one, but everybody said no, that they were the ones to go, and the girls voted on it. So they did go, and I still have picture of your mother and my daughter. I'm sure she doesn't remember at this point. I think she was 7 at the time. I'm sure she may not have been that impressed at the time, but when I show her the picture, she always is proud of it.
She's still got the photo.
Yes.
Beautiful way with people, didn't she?
She made all the children very much at home.
Yes.
Very comfortable.
She was she was what I would describe as an unassuming person, my mother. She was, I'd like to use the word simple, but that has such a funny connotation sometimes, people, it makes you think she's simple-minded, which she certainly wasn't. But she had a very simple outlook on life, very down to earth and considerate of people's feelings. And of course she was utterly convinced of the value of Girl Scouting, particularly this thing that you have perhaps brought out here, the international aspect that you mentioned, that she recognized so strongly that international and world friendships was one of the hopes for the future of the world, and that Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts too could bring about that so much if they could only get around and get to meet each other and get to know each other, that this could be the absolute making of world peace and prosperity for all, which she so longed for.
Here?
No.
I'm so sorry.
All right, if you just hold it. We have as an associate member of this troop someone who has never lived here, who wanted to come to live here, but she waited too late and had to go to a nursing home.
Oh.
She was a commissioner, one of the first commissioners of Richmond School of Girl Scouts. She was also the chairman of the committee that was able to save Juliet Lowe's home from becoming a parking lot. And she worked very closely with Lady BP. She writes to us, and I write to her and send her letters about the meetings and all that we do. She's only 97 years old.
Oh, 97.
She has had her last implant, and if you can see the writing that she has done, I had to have a magnifying glass to read her letter. The letter is to you, but she asked me to read it first and see if it would do. I asked her if she wouldn't like to send a letter, since she knew your mother so well and loved her so dearly. So could I share a couple of the funnies? She herself says, all I can remember about anybody seems to me to be the mischievous things. So you see what kind of a lady she was. Her name is Mrs. Louise Daw, and she lives at Kilmarnock. One of the things that I think is so interesting, she and her husband, Gridley Daw, were in England, and they had entertained your mother here, and she had said, let me know anytime you're in town. And so she called and said they were there, and she said, oh, do come out to tea. And they came out, and she had lovely tea prepared, and she fixed the table, and she said, now, Gridley, she said, you sit here, and you eat up, and Mrs. Daw and I will go in here on the couch and talk scouting. And I didn't get any tea.
You didn't get any tea?
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
And then she was talking about the uniforms, and I think it's really interesting. She said, "You Americans don't like to wear your Girl Scout uniforms. Now me, I'm different. I wear mine everywhere, so when I travel, I don't have to take a suitcase." I thought that was right interesting from your mother.
Yeah.
Of course, Miss Dahl would love to have met you too. Thanks.
Just to entertain the people at her home. This would have been at Hampton Court Palace. She said she used to have a perch at Hampton Court Palace, and she lived there for the last 30 years of her life when she came back to England in the middle of the Second World War, came back from Africa to live in England. And she used to entertain people there, and she had some amusing stories at the latter part of her life when she was beginning to get a little bit elderly. But she had a garden out near the palace, in the palace parks, and she used to go out there and she would dig and dig and dig. She loved gardening, and she grew rhubarb and she grew beans and roses and every sort of thing she needed. So she would come back from her garden laden with her trunk, her basket full of goodies, and she'd be wearing her old gumboots. What do you call gumboots? Wellington boots. Tall boots, garden boots. Well, I don't know what you call them.
More like barn boots.
Garden boots. Anyway, these big things. And her oldest coat, her hair all over the place, and she was coming back one day to her place, and she saw at her door, she'd got a brass plate with her name on, to say where she lived. And there was a couple of people there, an elderly lady and another lady and a little boy. And the little boy was tracing her name with his finger. And this other lady said that she heard this lady say to the boy, "Oh, come away, Willie, it's no good doing that. She's been dead for years." So Mother was frightfully amused at this. We used to tell that story again and again. And she crept up and went around another corner and waited till they'd gone away before she went into her door. Anybody else? Any other? Yes, somebody.
Chapel of the Intercession up at 155th Street in Broadway. And that was a member of Trinity Parish. It was a very large church, and we had a large troop. That was in 1916. We all went down to Madison Square Garden, the old Madison Square Garden, down at 23rd and Madison Square on the east side. Of course, all disappeared now. And they took all the Girl Scouts were there. It must have been some big celebration, but I was only 12 at the time, and so I really don't remember exactly what it was. But my younger sister, who was 10, was selected to do some semaphoring. Well, I don't think she knew anything except maybe A. She had one flag like this and one flag out like that. And then it was published in the newspaper, and with a very elaborate blurb that said that the Girl Scouts of America were ready to offer their skills to their country in time of need. And I thought, wonder what Bernard at 10 years old could do. And I can't remember if Lord or Lady Baden Powell were there. But it's just too far back for me to remember that.
And they wouldn't have been there on that occasion, but they certainly would have been 3 years later. They came over. Juliette Lowe was in England for part of the war. As you probably know, she came back and forth many times because she did belong to both nations. And in 1919, she begged my parents to come over to America to see what the Girl Scouts were doing. And so they came. She brought them back with her in triumph. And they did a tour of your country immediately after the First World War, and went on to Canada also. And I think they were tremendously impressed with what they saw. My mother was always a tremendous admirer of you people. And those latter years in the 1960s, she did a number of tours over here. She went right through the country from one end to another by car with a friend. And she would arrange these tours long beforehand so that she could go from one place to another like that. And she made a tremendous impact on Girl Scouting in those days, and they made a great impact on her. She used to admire enormously the courage and the vivacity of what goes on in this country. And also, I may say, it's one big thing that she admired and appreciated so much was the enormous financial generosity of the Girl Scouts of America. And this goes on still very much today. The World Association of the Guides and Scouts could not survive without the enormous contribution that you people make so willingly and so kindly and so eagerly almost, so generously to the World Association. You keep the world going, and long may you go on doing so. Bless you for it, and I hope you will continue to receive back the joy that you deserve as a reward for your very great generosity and thoughtfulness and concern for Girl Scouting and Girl Guiding in the rest of the world. How my parents would thank you for it. And they would say, God bless you for it, you people of the United States of America. And you people have been so much the founders of those who are doing just the same today. Thank you for it. And God bless you.
Does anyone have a real burning question that they would like to ask Mrs. Clay?
Did she know that we had
Program, there was no one there. But that just could not be helped.
No.
Does anyone have another question now?
I'd like to know if Girls Guiding and Girl Scouting is represented in many countries around the world. For instance, has it the outfit to Japan or China or Africa? Or
Oh, very much so. It exists now in 104 countries of the world, which has gone up by enormous numbers because a lot of the smaller countries have become politically independent in the recent years, as you all read in the newspapers. And when they become politically independent, very often the Girl Scout associations have become quite sophisticated in the learning process of running their own affairs, and they are quite capable of taking their part as a member of the World Association. And every time we have a World Conference, which is every 4 years, there's another 2 or 3 new countries to be added to the list of members. So they are coming on and using Girl Scouting and Girl Guiding in the education of their young girls, using it as an educational tool. Ted?
Yes, indeed. And if you look around here, our ages go on up into the 90s, and we have a most unusual group in that we have staff members as well as residents.
Oh, that was nice, yes.
It's wonderful because there are things that we can't do that they do. They support us. They do the things that need to be done and help us. And 10 years ago, this is our 10th anniversary.
10?
That's right.
You've been going so
We've
long.
let it go by because of the 75th anniversary was so important. But we still know we're 10 years old. And they have been exceptionally helpful all these 10 years in anything we needed to do. So we have a little book that we have put together for you that will tell you a little bit about what we do. If you will hold this, I'd like... What is this? It's really a scrapbook, and I wanted to show it because I don't think all of the ladies have seen it. This is the presentation page, and one of our residents, who is not a Girl Scout, did this for us. And she says, don't mention my name, so I shall honor her wishes. But this gives you the information. then, so that you will remember where you came. You see, we are Westminster Canterbury Girl Scouts, and we just put in the address, just hoping
that you might possibly one day
hear from someone.
Hi, thanks.
Come again, huh?
Come again, huh? That's right.
And we put the contents in so that as you look at it, you might see what each is. We did not try to put and here are the ladies, and
oh, there are all the names. Oh, that's lovely.
Marnie, you have yet to put yours in, and there's a space saved right here for you. So be sure and get.
When we bring the book round, we bring a pen with it,
so she can fill it in.
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
This is one of the meetings that we always meet with girls. This is the first time in a long, long time, I guess about 4 or 5 years, that we have just met ourselves with an adult speaker. But this was celebrating Juliet Lowe's birthday. That's one thing we always do. And we had about 5 troops that day, that night.
Lovely.
Then sometimes we meet with just girls individually. And Mrs. Kyle, raise your hand, Miss Kyle, so everybody can see you.
Yes.
How many years does it make for you and your troops? 7 years. We have worked with her and she with us. And it's mutual benefit because she does lots of things that we can't do. Just with their tape recorders, those very smart reporters would do.
Oh, how nice. Bet they did it better than some reporters.
Yes, I had one come once that didn't bring pencil, paper, or a tape recorder. She says, you got a piece of paper?
Good.
So I knew the letter that follows, she wrote for you, telling all about the persons that she met. And it was all because she had on her World
Badge, yes, World Pin.
And her Christmas card in 1955. And she apologized for it because she said she was flying around, and here she is flying, and she's hopping around, and here she is.
Hopping like a grasshopper.
Yeah, a grasshopper.
With a guide hat on.
Right.
A grasshopper with a guide hat on.
Right. And she had come over to
Cabana.
In Cuernavaca, in Mexico. And she was not getting her mail, but she knew that people were writing just the same. And
what a lovely card. I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
Well, it was done on blue typing paper. And it did not Xerox too well.
No, well, it's
but
quite clear.
You have it, and you have the whole thing. Then we chose this article out of the Girl Scout Leader in 1969 because it tells about the birthday present that the Girl Scouts USA presented to her, and it was a pledge to increase their enrollment and to increase the enrollment of leadership, to increase the number of troops in the disadvantaged areas.
Was this just one more? Was it the just one more?
I don't know. It just it says that she was asking for people to do this.
Yes.
And so here's the pledge.
Here's the pledge.
And then here's your mother's reply.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Yes.
Then the last thing I've listed is taken also from the Girl Scout Leader. It's your mother's last message.
Oh.
And we have used that almost every Thinking Day meeting as a closing.
Lovely.
And frequently we have one of our English girls to read it for us, which gives it the real touch. And we love it. And we just thought, we knew you had it, but we want you to know that we used it and love it, and it means so much to us. And you mean so much to us. And we can't thank you enough for giving us this time tonight.
Thank you, Joe. Very, very much indeed. And have they all seen the posters? Have you? You've all seen the posters, have you?
A little bit earlier.
Yes. Well,
I can't think of anything lovelier to do than to have a friendship circle tonight.
yes.
Shall we stand and the best we can have a friendship circle?
That's right. Are we there?
You had a song you wanted to sing?
Make new friends.
All right, good.
Make new friends, but keep me on. One is silver and the other gold. Make new friends, but make new friends, but make new friends. One is silver and the other gold. Make new friends, but keep me on. One is silver and the other gold. From the sun, from the rain, from the hill, from the sky, for the world, sing me rest, God is nigh.
This is your No.
I thought you were going to take a picture of me.
I have birthday.
Have you?
Take a bite to take it. I want up my package. I don't think we're not shipping.
One of these days, we may be, I don't know.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
My benefit.
And I do better. I didn't do it the second time, the second and third time, so that I met her. I learned my
And then some.
You got the radio one. Oh, yes, we're ready. Did you want to get another photo on your thing? Because this nasty one, did you? While we're on our music. While we're on our music. Good. Why do you wear it down? Well, I mean, I know the series. Oh, that's splendid. That's what ranger age, aren't they? So I take a page, but I was thinking, come on,
I did.
You're a
Was your mother or your big sister? Now, where is she? She's gone.
She's down there. How are you? Sorry, that's not
It was good. I'll never write it like that.
Did you?
Went to a great place.
I like the birds living now. The only thing I don't like is the long trip. We've got 2 pools here, one on cycle, one on go to
And the post office has the Eagle for there.
Representatives at our post office, they had a partnership with beautiful stuff.
The postmaster and came. Then they gave all the Girl Scouts that were there this and those cards. Joe's got cards and then sent the cards too. And so we're
thinking that
go back.
they got a pavilion down there. They got
There's no be right.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you being
Well, Daddy, just behind you.
This lady here joined, this lady joined our group before she moved in.
Oh, that was clever.
Joe got me in the elevator when I was coming over to visit about 2 months before I moved in. I wouldn't miss it. But I was so excited when I signed everything else that paid my dues. I forgot to sign my check.
That's right. So I had to send it back to her. That's no good, lady.
That's a good one. But you know,
Joe says, I know you're in the process of working.
Yeah, that's a good way to thank them. I think I'll spend a lot of time that way. That's true. From the office, right?
oh, really? Yes. Nice to see you.
Quite an honor.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you feel that. Yes, good. And you're helping this lot too so much. What a good job to have. What a lovely job to have. So satisfying, yes. As well as just a job, not just a job. You're happy. You're happy. No need for that. Okay, so. Where's your office? Just downstairs?
I work at the Girl Scouts.
Oh, the Girl Scout office. Yes. I misunderstood. I thought she meant the secretary here. I thought she meant the secretary here. Yes, you're the secretary at the Girl Scout office. Yes. Now, which office? Which one is that one? In the catch, the one that I visited. Did I see you there? Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Yes, I saw your office where you work. I saw that. Yes, it's a lovely place to work. Yes. Yes, one of them was saying, and it wasn't the doctor, one of them was saying, I said, it's such a big start as this. I suspect you sometimes get quite some claustrophobic moments, don't you? Not here, we don't. Yes. She said we seem to work with great harmony. She used the word harmony. And I thought, what a lovely reputation to have. Yes. Thank you for all you're doing. Keep it going.